one thing I like about, well, there's a couple things I like about XY. Is it's phase coherent, and it collapses to mono easy, and it's also easy to set up. Basically, all you need is a stereo bar, any stereo bar, which is what we have here. Mount both mics on there. You can stick them on one stand, so placement's simple, especially if you're low on space or low on stands. This is a great way to mic things. The other thing is making sure that the mics, as you can see right here, they're about 90 degrees, and the capsule is as close to each other as you can possibly get. Now, this is why the XY is very phase coherent, because no matter where the sound is coming from, they're hitting both capsules at basically the same time. So they're phase coherent, collapses to mono well. The downside of that, I mean, if you can even call it a downside, it's not really a downside, but you don't get a really wide stereo image. Even if you pan it all the way hard left and all the way hard right, XY is still going to be fairly narrow because of this right there. We do have a kick mic and a snare mic going, so we'll hear the overheads first, and then we'll get to hear it in relationship with the kick and the snare. Okay, so we're going to start off with just our overheads. Let's hear that sound, okay? Go for it. Give me a kick, snare, and hat groove. So notice I have these hard panned left and right. And the cymbals are definitely not way over here and way over here. They're about right here, which actually isn't bad at all. Give me a tom groove. E, san, su. So it's a good picture of the kit. It's not really wide, but we have, the other thing I forgot to mention is we're directly over the snare drum. So if your snare is here, these two mics are right over the snare because we want to keep that snare centered in the image. If you get this off to, let's say you center it in the kit, that snare, you'll hear it pull to one side really, really bad. Okay, now let's do the same thing. Go 4 bars of the kick, snare, hat, 4 bars of the ride, and 4 bars of the tom. I'm going to pull in the kick and the snare mic so we can hear how this sounds all together. All right, buddy, go for it. So just the overheads. Now the kick and snare in. XY, very, very effective. Phase coherent, collapses to mono, easy to set up. Now I know that both of these mics are the same distance from the kick drum and the snare drum. So that gives me a good focused center with the kick and the snare, which is really important in modern music, is to have that focused center. The kick and the snare needs to be in the middle. Now these mics, from that point, these mics can go down, they can go up.